Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Madoka Mondays. Now, I'm not recording it on Monday, I'm recording it on Tuesday. But on YouTube it will go up on Monday, so I think we can safely call this time slot Madoka Mondays. Someone in my Discord noticed that, and I gotta admit, I love the name for it, so that's what we're gonna be calling it. Madoka Magica episode 3 is what we're gonna be watching today. And first, just a little bit of housekeeping. I heard that some comments on episode 2 are getting like close to the spoiler territory. Please don't. That's all I wanted to say. Please don't. Don't go like full spoilers. Don't go even like close to the spoiler territory. It really serves no purpose. It really helps nobody. So just don't. What more can I say? And with that, I guess we can talk a little bit about the previous episode. What happened there? And what happened is we got a few, maybe not even questions answered, but we got the mechanics, so to speak, fleshed out a little. We now know of the soul gems, they're called, something like that. The little Fabergé egg that Mommy has. And we know that they can be cleansed with by using witch seeds or something like that. Some seeds, some MacGuffin that drops from the witches. So that already tells us a little bit about the mechanics. The soul gem, soul crystal, whatever, is also the source of power for a magical girl. And I'm assuming when Madoka decides that she also wants to be a part of the business, she will get a soul gem herself. Will it be a Fabergé egg? Will it be something else? I don't know, but she will surely get one. I'm still not sure about Sayaka. I'm not sure about her in that I don't know if she's gonna become a magical girl or not. I'm honestly not sure. She is really like raring to go. It was very visible in the previous episode, in episode 2, when she just immediately grabbed a baseball bat and was ready to go. Just point me at the witch. I'm gonna fucking bash her head in. So that was some cool. Uh, whatchamacallit, uh, like desire to action, I guess. So, and she seems to also have a reason to want the wish, because I believe she has a sick relative. That's what the shadow was supposed to be pointing at in episode 1, I believe. There was someone in like hospital bed, or was it in the previous episode? Uh, I don't remember now. But yeah, there was a scene like that. What dream does Madoka have? I don't know. She seems to just genuinely be a good-hearted person. And it seems that if she were to get into the Mahou Shoujo business, it would be because she wants to help people, she wants to save people from witches, and not because she has a dream to fulfill. And I'm wondering if that's gonna have some consequences. Consequences might be a little bit too strong of a word here, but is it gonna be relevant in the future? Because I have a feeling it might be. We of course also went through a proper fight with a witch, with Mami, Madoka, and Sayaka. The witch was swiftly dispatched by Mami. It wasn't really an issue for her at all. We got some writing on the walls in German, and it was a very cool spectacle for sure. Every scene that happens in the magical girl world is a spectacle in and of itself. We also got some added symbolism, like environmental symbolism. We now have the scene of the rooftops with all the buildings around being completely white and only the blue of the sky. What does it mean exactly? I don't know. On one hand, desolation and emptiness and sterileness, being sterile. And on the other hand, there's still plenty of gribbles and shapes, so I'm still not sure. Or maybe I'm just looking way too deep into it. That's also a possibility. And we, of course, got a couple of appearances by Homura. First time she appeared, asked Madoka if she remembers the promise, and then just turned on her heel and just disappeared. Kinda reminds me of the meme from Sailor Moon with the tuxedo, whatever was his name, saying my job is done here, but you didn't do anything. Right, that kinda reminds me of Homura. And the second time she appeared, did she even have a line then? She did. Right, she caught the seed that mommy threw at her, then threw it back and said, I don't need it, and just disappeared back. I don't know what her deal was there. Maybe she was, I don't know, stalking them, the wrong word, but following them to make sure that nothing happens to Madoka. Maybe that would be my reading on it. That she's following them and not doesn't exactly have anything to say, just follows them as a means of like safeguarding Madoka. Should shit go down, then she's there ready for action or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Homura is still very hard to read to me. Like, what does she even want to achieve? And her, I mean, we know what she wants to achieve, right? She wants to stop Madoka from becoming a Mahou Shoujo, but she's not really going about it the best way possible. Is what I'm having trouble like reading. Her actions. What's the logic behind her actions? I'm assuming there is some. I'm assuming she's not talking to Madoka because she doesn't want to talk to her. I'm assuming it's some sort of a tactic, some sort of a strategy, or if we assume that there really is some timeline hopping or world hopping or timey-wimey shenanigans going on. Maybe, as I mentioned during the previous episode, at this point, maybe Homura just gave up on this timeline, or maybe she tried all the things already and now she's just giving Madoka silent treatment and seeing how that goes. I don't know. There's plenty of completely unknown variables to me. And on one hand, like it's great because it leads to a lot of theorizing, right? It gives me a very wide field, a lot of possibilities to create all sorts of various theories, better ones, worse ones, but theories nonetheless. On the other, I hope the drip feed of answers is gonna just speed up just a little bit, just ever so slightly, because keeping the viewer completely in the dark can lead the viewer to like take the wrong conclusions, not necessarily like negative conclusions, but the wrong ones, or maybe even negative ones. Like, if I didn't know that this show was like critically acclaimed and everybody loves it for its depth and quality and whatnot, when I saw that Homura just decides not to talk, I would just assume that it's silence because otherwise there would be no show, right? Just to continue the plot, Homura has to not explain shit, because if she did explain shit, this series would have ended in like 2 episodes. Madoka would be like, oh yeah, being magical girl sucks actually. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Thanks for the warning, Homura-chan. Right? So that's what I would have assumed. I'm still kind of getting those vibes, but I know that it's probably not the case. So it's kind of like a whatchamacallit, double-edged sword, right? On one hand, limited the drip feed of information gets you invested, gets you creative, gets you theorizing. On the other hand, it can sour your experience a little. It doesn't sour mine because I know that it all has a purpose. Because otherwise, this show wouldn't be deemed as such a great show if it wasn't the case, right? So I'm kind of going in circles now, so I'm gonna stop here. What's gonna happen in today's episode? I don't know. I don't know, honestly. The previous episode kind of left things up in the air. Will she? Won't she? Is Madoka gonna become a magical girl? Is she not gonna become a magical girl? What's gonna happen right now? I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to see it because anything can happen. It's gonna be like episode 3, so I'm assuming it's gonna be a high time for Madoka to become a Mahou Shoujo. Or maybe not. Maybe they know, the creators of this show know that that's what we expect. So Madoka is gonna become a Mahou Shoujo in like episode 10. I don't know. I don't know. Could go either way. This show is very, very unpredictable to me, and I love it for it. Right, let's not talk anymore. Let's just give you your subs and myself my sound as usual, and the third, as in my intro, is support. You can support the channel monetarily on Patreon, Throne, links in the description, or for free, completely for free, without spending a single cent, by sharing my content, spreading the word about the existence of my channel. Your friends knowing about my channel and watching it gives me one more subscriber, one more view, and it really does matter a lot in the grand scheme of things. And with all that out of the way, we can start watching Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica episode 3, version by Magika, as always, as usual. And we can start watching it in 3, 2, 1, go. And here's the sick relative. Brother, mother, father, Kyosuke Kami something. Friend? I'm assuming terminal illness. That does not look like a hospital. That's what leads me to believe that it is indeed a terminal illness, because they usually don't let you customize your hospital room unless you're staying there for a long time. Or maybe it's not terminal. Is he... Oh, was he the one giving the performance? I didn't notice that. I didn't pay attention to who was performing. For sure. For sure. I'm assuming he's like he's playing not the fiddle. It's like a violin, and he injured his arm and will not be able to play violin ever again, or something like that. Something along those lines. And Sayaka wants to use her wish to make him able to play violin again. I think that's where it's headed. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Either that or terminal illness. Yeah, we saw someone with a violin right there for a split second in the OP. Also, one very important thing I forgot to mention about the previous episode. We got the origin of the girls can't love girls meme. Super happy about that. Tiro finale, not trio finale. You've already corrected me on that, and yes, I can't read apparently. Yeah, tiro finale. There's nothing trio about it. You sure make a show of it, though? Not all of them do, I'm assuming. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. And they develop the seed then, I'm assuming. I like how they're sorted by height. Right, that's an interesting topic. Dead parents or her being on the brink of death? Save me, I want to live. Something around that, I'm assuming. Yeah, she speaks sense. Absolutely. Yeah, doesn't have to. Sure. My friend asked me. Okay, Madoka knows. That's convenient. Hmm. Does the intention matter? Some very unsettling shots. Why? Why are you strapped for time, Kyuubey? And yeah, I heard those drawings were actually made by Aoi Yuki. So that's great. That's a great detail. Reminds me of the samurai noise in Symphogear. Hmm. Potential in her or a promise of power? Okay, so a some just potential that she was born with or developed otherwise. Came home drunk. As a curse. She sure doesn't look like she loves her job. Seems to be all the time. Okay, this time Mommy is fighting alone. Ring? What's the deal with the ring, though? Yeah. So is it actually about Madoka like being able to bring about some world-ending calamity because of just how powerful she is? That was dramatic. So it does seem that Madoka's potential is why Homura doesn't want her to become a magical girl. Hmm. If Homura was just worried about Madoka being in danger, then she wouldn't mind her becoming a magical girl because she's powerful, so I'm assuming she would not be in danger. So it has to be some negative effects, negative repercussions of Madoka's power. Yeah, let's not rush it. So just bystanders can get sucked into the maze through proximity alone. I'm assuming by the time Madoka is back, Sayaka will already be a Mahou Shoujo. Yeah, that was a bit faster than predicted, wasn't it? Yeah, apparently civilians can just get sucked in, just like that. Hospital theme. Syringes, scalpels. Ah, the devil forever tempting with power. Ah, right. Her. Right, sorry. Yeah, it can turn into a ring. Disregard my bewilderment at her magical stone turning into a ring before. Oh, hello, Homura. Okay, I guess we're fighting. Yeah, leave it for the bedroom. What's so different about her? And how would you know, Homura? Was the seed planted here by someone on purpose? It was in a very conspicuous location, wasn't it? Medicine bottles. Some bottled fetus on the left, I'm assuming. Or it looks like a bottled waffle. Why not? Ah, yes, the woes of a protagonist. What's your wish, though? Your wish is to just help people, I'm assuming, or something along those lines? Okay, so her wish is to become a magical girl, essentially. Touchy subject. Well, now you'll be able to create a magical girl support group, essentially, the three of you. You kind of have a witch to kill. Didn't you say you won't have time for boyfriends? I mean, that works. Some pretzels and stuff on hooks. Pretzels and candy. Henshin time. And here's the cake. Okay, so far it was all hospital themed. And now, out of nowhere, cake. Does the world adjust to the people inside of it? I still love her fighting style. I absolutely adore it. Yep. Okay, those are her inner thoughts, so they are believable. Because I had like hard time trusting Mami so far. I'm still not sure if I trust her, but usually like inner thoughts are to be trusted. Charlotte. It's a fairly tiny witch. The headshots point blank just like that. Was it this simple? Or is something gonna happen now? Second form? Yeah. Second health bar. Chomp? Okay, I'm guessing Mami is fucking dead. Yep, Mami is dead. I did not expect that. Yeah, Homura is here. Okay, show me how Homura fights. And show me her henshin. Okay. She can just teleport around? Or are those like dummies? Dummy Homuras? Done? Okay, just like that. Homura didn't even, like, fight per se. Just jumped around. Grief Seed, and what became of Mami? Mami is fucking dead. And it was Samura who killed the witch, so that's also true. Is Mami dead though? Oh, wait, that's it? That's okay. That's the episode. Is it a new ending? It is a new ending. There's Mami, there's Homura. Oh, I love this song. I love this song. Very like dark gothic feel to it. I love it. So this is the episode where shit hits the fan. And after credits scene like that. Miracles and magic do exist. Is Madoka's wish going to be to revive Mami? I have a feeling that might be it. So I'm gonna note it down, just in case. Just in case. Madoka Meguka. Madoka wishes to revive Mami. Or time travel. If the wish can truly be everything and anything, could they possibly travel back in time and save Mami? Could Madoka and Sayaka become magical girls now? Sayaka for the sake of her friend, and Madoka with the explicit purpose to travel back in time and save Mami. Huh. Okay, how about we now go through this episode again to see what's been going on and to analyze it again. Shall we? Interesting. I honestly did not see this episode ending the way it did. And yeah, of course, a very sick someone, friend, probably not brother, probably not relative, and that does seem to be him on the stage. And she's watching him. Yeah, okay. So, in one way or another, he lost the ability to play violin. And so, Sayaka's wish will probably be to bring him the ability to play violin back. Interesting that Mami got contacted in such a moment. Like I'm assuming she was on the brink of death. She took part in some accident. She was literally dying right now. Kyuubey appeared, and she made the contract with her wish being, "I want to live. I want to survive." That brings an interesting question, though. Yeah, that's a question I had for a little while now. Are those contracts like one-time things? What I mean by that is Mami has the wish to live, and in exchange she becomes a magical girl. Is it possible that should she stop fighting as a magical girl, stop being a magical girl for all intents and purposes, would she just die? Because the condition of her wish being continuously true, being continuously fulfilled, is her continuous work, continuous fight as a magical girl. That would be interesting. Because technically, like, sure, it's a contract, right? It's a contract that you are obligated to fight witches, for example. But what if you don't? Right? What if you don't? Technically, Mami can just not fight witches. What are the consequences of that, though? I'm gonna note it down. Breach of contract rolls back the wish. I'm assuming that might be the case. For example, if Sayaka wished for her friend to regain the ability to play violin, and then Sayaka decided, "I don't want to fight anymore," then her friend's arm would be injured again. The old injury would have opened, or maybe he would have taken part in another accident or something. Sorry. Or something along those lines. I have a feeling that might be the case. Because it's been emphasized, even in this episode alone, that it is a contract. Contracts have at least a few lines about what are the consequences of the breach of it. That's going to be interesting to see if we do explore those themes, of course. The subs are being absolute and utter shit again. Not starting when they should be starting, and yeah, think of it, think about what you truly wish for. Do you want your friend to regain his ability to play violin? Or do you want, or is your real wish, is your true wish that you want to be the one to bring him this ability back? Right? Do you want him to play violin again out of the goodness of your heart? Or do you want him to play the violin again and be grateful to you? And that grateful part is the true wish of yours. Interesting distinction. And of course, Madoka is having trouble finding a wish because, as I mentioned, her wish truly is to just help people, to just be useful, to be a magical girl. I'm kind of interested in the mechanics of it, if it doesn't like cause some sort of a feedback loop, kind of like a compounding thing, right? If your wish is to become a magical girl, and you become a magical girl, and then kind of like be like on top of becoming a magical girl, you also become a magical girl, like a magical girl squared kind of a deal. I don't know. It probably doesn't work that way, but it's interesting. It's interesting to like think about it. I've never met a girl with such potential before. That seems to be very important because Mami knows it, Homura knows it, Kyuubey knows it. Why is it of such importance? Because it's both a reason why Kyuubey wants Madoka to become a magical girl, and it's a reason why Homura doesn't want Madoka to become a magical girl. I think my initial theories about Madoka being able to like bring some calamity to the world through her sheer power is the case, because if Madoka truly is this strong and Homura is aware of it, why would she be against Madoka being a magical girl, right? If Madoka truly is like the strongest magical girl ever, she would probably be able to deal with any sort of a witch, any sort of a familiar thrown her way without breaking a sweat. So there's no reason to like worry about Madoka losing a fight. I'm gonna note it down because that seems so far to be like the most plausible theory that Madoka can bring about some calamity due to her innate power. And it would make sense why Kyuubey is so desperate to make Madoka a magical girl, because he would now have a super strong magical girl in his arsenal, essentially. Yeah, that explains things, I think. Again, I might be mistaken. This show is very much, maybe not like bait and switch land, but you can never be certain of anything at any point, honestly. At no point can you be certain of anything. Mommy came home drunk, and yeah, talking about wishes. I'm sure there are tough and painful times for her, but that's why I love her. Someone's dream can be their way of life. Indeed. And now we have this meeting on the plaza at night. Why did Mommy turn the egg into a ring, and why is she in front of the fountain? I don't know. She probably didn't come here to meet up with Homura. Is the fountain some sort of a gateway? I don't know. I have no clue. We're putting innocent civilians in danger. They've been chosen by Kyuubey, so they're no longer civilians. Especially in the case of Kaname Madoka. Yeah, we re-establish the fact, or rather reinforce the fact, that Homura wants to stop Madoka from becoming a magical girl. I have no reason to fight you, but I will if needs be. And then we have this weird, like, shaft head. I mean, it is Shaft, so you have to have a scene of someone doing this with their head at least once in the series, and I'm assuming this is the one legally mandated scene of a Shaft neck. But besides that, seems very dramatic. Seed, just like that, left in the wall. Interesting that they can see it. They're not magical girls, and yet they can see it. Perhaps because of their connection to Kyuubey? I guess that's the explanation for it. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna doubt it. Their mental connection to Kyuubey makes them able to see it because Kyuubey is able to see it. That's what I'm assuming is the case. Sayaka is very fucking brave, for the sake of her friend, probably. And she decides to stay here. Interesting that this magical girl world is dangerous, but isn't, like, immediately dangerous. Like, you as a civilian, as a completely random person, can just get inside and walk around, and you don't just immediately get attacked by monsters and eaten alive. It's not safe here, true, but it's not, like, entirely unsafe either. Also interesting that the seed can actually grab random people off the street. You'd think, like, disappearances would be much more of an issue in this world, just random people going missing. Or maybe it is again the presence of Kyuubey, their link to Kyuubey, that makes them susceptible to being taken into this world. I don't know, probably. Here comes Mami. And yeah, apparently they have to get there slowly and quietly. It's actually worse to provoke the egg using magic. Sure. Whatever you say, Kyuubey. Homura knows what's up with this witch. Knows that the witch is she knows that the witch is, like, self not self-repairing, but, like, has a certain amount of health bars, right? Can resurrect herself, itself, himself, I don't know. How does she know it? I don't know. Why does she keep this information for herself? Right? Like, I would think that if she wants to keep Madoka and Sayaka alive and safe, and she knows that she's locked here and tied up, you'd think that she'd yell at Mami that, hey, the witch has multiple health bars. You have to kill it multiple times. Right? Like, if she can't be there to protect them, then she can at least make sure that Mami is able to protect them sufficiently. I don't know, maybe not. Homura's mind is a complete mystery and a black box to me, so I can't claim to understand her thought process. Maybe she actually has a reason to not do that. Or maybe it's an oversight. I don't know. Could really be either way. Talking about Madoka's motivations. Again, she has the case of a protagonist who has no ambitions, no good points, no bad points, who's just a completely blank slate, and they immediately latch onto the very first thing they can do to distinguish themselves, kinda, sorta. Reminds me of Ko from Yofukashi no Uta, who immediately was down for the idea of becoming a vampire because he had nothing else going on in his world, in his life. Reminds me certainly a lot of Hibiki, who was also kind of like coasting along, and then she was given the ability to actually help people, and she immediately jumped into the fray. And apparently, Madoka is the same. And after the talk about cake and feast, it suddenly became cake themed and sweet themed. Yeah, candy, cookies, donuts. And yeah, for a moment there, and the pills falling from the sky. Actually, they remind me they're actually the exact same color and type of a medicine that is sold in Poland, perhaps even in other countries, that is commonly used to treat diarrhea. Probably not the symbolism here, almost certainly not, but just, I don't know, I had to mention it because they look exactly like the spills. And yeah, donuts and pretzels and candy hanging around on fish hooks. Also, I mentioned how you can never be sure of anything in Madoka. That anytime you think you're onto something, it might very well get subverted. In here, in this scene, I wasn't sure if Mami is actually speaking the truth, or is it just a play she puts on. For some reason. I don't know what reason might that be. But the not the framing, but the fact that her face is in the shadow and the music and stuff. Although the music is very like poignant and high spirited, kinda. So whatever. I wasn't sure if I should trust her here, or is it just her playing on Madoka's emotions? But no, it seems like she is genuine, especially later on. Right, how during the fight she talks about how I'm no longer alone, right? Usually in anime, uh, and in general in media, inner thoughts of characters are not falsified. Inner thoughts are always true. So this is what Mami actually thinks. She's actually happy to no longer be alone, to now have a group of friends potentially that can fight alongside her. Yeah, I went from trusting Mami to doubting Mami to trusting Mami to doubting Mami to trusting her again. Go figure. Also, the theme of sweets seems like it has appeared long before Mami put the thought of a feast and a cake in Madoka's mind, which is interesting. I thought that the world reacted to the thoughts and the desires and whatnot of the people inside of it, but perhaps not the case. Yeah, I just love her fighting style. And it's animated on once for extra fluidity. just twirling the guns around, shooting. The recoil just flips it around. She catches it completely seamlessly, bashes some monster in the head with it, throws it away, grabs two more guns, kicks them up with her foot. I love Mommy's fighting style. I really truly do adore it. Also, they're doing the thing with impact frames where it's not a complete black and white impact frame, but rather increased saturation, increased contrast impact frame. I like it. I like when they do that in whatever show they're doing that in. And a kick for good measure. Last two guns. Some great perspective. And more guns just appearing out of her chest, out of nowhere. Yeah. And this very idyllic scene. I'm no longer alone. Charlotte, the witch of sweets, apparently. Supposedly it's dead, but alas, it really isn't. And Mommy didn't really see it fit to run for some reason, but she didn't, and she is dead. It's not like she's fake out dead, it seems, because her magic, the effects of her magic, have dissolved completely. Homura is free now. And yeah, Mommy has been chomped down. She's probably headless. For my contract, no need because Homura is here. And Homura seems very powerful. She didn't henshin, notice. And yet she's using some weird... I don't want to call it powers, but she's doing something where she's here one frame and she isn't here the other frame. And she jumps back into the frame from off screen. And just like time and space seems to not be a thing to her. Because she jumped down here and then came back up through here. Does she like have the power of teleportation? Or is it gonna be some meta thing where she has control of the screen of the show itself, some sort of like fourth wall breaking thing where we're gonna see in like episode 12 that like camera zooms out of the scene and it's an anime studio and someone's drawing things and then Homura comes from the back and draws a gun in her own hands on the frame or something like that. Wouldn't surprise me with the like mixed media style of the magical girl world. Wouldn't surprise me if they went for a fourth wall break. I'm gonna note it down just in case. Fourth wall break. Homura's powers. Because either that or Homura's powers are somehow space-time related. Homura controls space-time. Because it really does seem that way. Right? Her completely disregarding the monster and just moving around completely freely. and then blowing the heads up like it's nothing with pieces of scenery, all the while not being henshined. Or wait, is it her henshin form? Yeah, okay. Fuck, she was henshined. Simply, her henshin form is so similar to her school uniform that I just didn't notice. Yeah, I just didn't notice. Not enough bows, not enough frills, and also the tendency of like school uniforms in anime being completely ridiculous. It's yeah, okay, so she was henshined. Gotcha. Still, powerful, extremely so, being able to just jump around like it's nothing, disappearing, reappearing, jumping off screen, jumping on screen. Crazy. Crazy and mad. A seed. Burn this moment into your eyes. This is what it means to become a magical girl. Yeah, you can die anytime. Especially if not long ago it was established that you're now very happy and you found purpose in your life and you found friends. That's when you should be afraid, because that's when you are most prone to be deaded by the creators of the show. Yeah, the mommy's death really does hit more because of the fact that she was established as being like genuinely happy and having found a group of friends and things like that. Like I might be laughing at it because that's like my immediate reaction whenever some main character of the show dies. But her death does hit. It does hit. It does have an impact. Don't take my laughing at it as indifference, because it really does have an impact. Especially now that they're sobbing and they're a complete mess because one of their friends, not long-time friends, but a friend nonetheless, just fucking died in front of their eyes. It is a tragedy. It is tragic. Absolutely. And yeah, this is for sure. I'm 100% certain this is the episode where shit hit the fan when this show was initially airing. And honestly, even now that I'm watching it after however many years, this episode is really the episode where shit hits the fan. Because sure, previous episodes had some dark elements and whatnot, and I was fully expecting people to be injured, people to die even. But this episode was really impactful, was really dark, and really shows the gruesomeness and the danger of the Mahou Shoujo world. And I almost want to question whether Madoka and Sayaka even would want to become magical girls now, after they've seen what they've seen. And I'm assuming that's also Homura's hope, that after they've seen Mami fucking get decapitated and eaten alive, well, not alive, when she was decapitated, she was hardly alive, they won't dare to even get near Kyuubey. But I'm assuming it might, but I think it might have the complete opposite effect, especially on Madoka. Madoka really bonded with Mami recently, in this episode most of all. And she doesn't have a wish. Which again leads me to believe that Madoka is going to wish for either Mami's resurrection or to turn back time. To save Mami. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what's gonna happen. And what a change in ending. What a complete tone shift. Amazing music. Like, genuinely amazing. astounding music in the ED. And then this for the next episode's preview. Cheery adventure music. We're getting out of the starter town and we're going for an adventure to grind some slimes for money. Kind of a music. And a happy Madoka with a cute Kyuubey. And Mami-san was really kind to show us what it takes to fight. She died. complete dissonance. And I love it. I love it. Episode 4, miracles and magic do exist. Miracle being either time travel or resurrection. That's my prediction for the next episode. But we're gonna have to wait for that. I mean, you will have to wait for that, you guys on YouTube. People on Patreon are probably already have this, the next episode available. Or maybe not. I might be late. I sometimes am, but usually for no more than a day. Okay. Okay. That was a great episode. Very impactful, very significant for sure. And I want to check out one thing. Because, first of all, because of the ending, and because people keep mentioning it in the comments, that I did not check out the composer for the music in this show, and the original writer. I don't think. Composer. That's theme song ED3. Okay, so there's gonna be another ED apparently. Theme song composition for the OP. Music, vocal performance, theme song lyrics. ED, OP. Key animation. Key. A lot of key animators. Animation director, storyboard. Episode director. Theme song performance ED. Calafina. Theme song performance OP. Music. Vocalize OP 34, no 14. What? Theme song performance. Producer. Music. Yuki Kajiura. Okay, sound director Yota Tsuruka. Okay, Calafina. What have they made? Theme songs for Fate, Arslan Senki, Aldnoah Zero. Aldnoah Zero was great. For the Mahou Shoujo side quells. For what else that I recognize? Kara no Kyokai and Kuroshitsuji. Theme song performance, yeah, mostly theme song performances. Yuki Kajiura, music for Madoka, music for SAO, music for Vanitas no Carte, Kimetsu no Yaiba, more SAO. Princess Principal, music for Crown Handler Chapter 2 of Princess Principal, and Crown Handler Chapter 1. Okay, and for Princess Principal itself. There we go. Great music. No wonder. Kimetsu no Yaiba, SAO, Aldnoah Zero again. SAO, Fate Zero, SAO, Fate, Pandora Hearts. Okay, been ages since I've seen Pandora Hearts. Kara no Kyokai, Kuroshitsuji, and before that, Bakkano, Kara no Kyokai. That's a lot. That is a lot. Elementar Gerad, Dot Hack, and it continues. Dot Hack, Eatman, whatever Eatman is, and the oldest example is Kimagure Orange Star Road, Soshite Anonatsu no something. And Yota Tsuruoka, sound director for Dragon Maid, for Bakemonogatari, Free, the second season of Kobayashi, Obsolete, Madoka Tejina Senpai. I think I did check check his portfolio out in the first episode. Yamada-kun, Tsuki Monogatari, and other monogataris. Chunibyo, Break Blade, Axel World, Nichijou, K-On, okay, sound director for K-On. F. Clanad, there you go. And some other shows as well. Suzumiya Haruhi. And also, who else? I think Script was another thing that people told me I did not check out. Script writer. Gen Urobuchi. Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. Ruby, original plan. Ruby Hyosetsu Teikoku, the one I'm watching right now. Obsolete, Psycho-Pass, original story for Psycho-Pass. Okay. So he's not a mere script writer, he also writes original stories. Thunderbolt, whatever that might be. Original creator of Aldunoa Zero. Interesting. Original creator of Fate Zero second season and Fate Zero. And plenty of manga under his belt as well. Madoka Magica manga, Fate Zero, Kyuketsu Senki, Phantom. Okay, so he's not just a mere script writer who just gets the source material and adapts it to an anime form. No, he's actually, as it says in the bio, Japanese novelist, visual novel writer, anime screenwriter. Yeah, and a co-creator of Madoka Magica. Won some anime awards, New Type Anime Award for Puella Magi Madoka Magica and Fate Zero and Psycho-Pass. Dude has a portfolio. For sure. For sure. And Akiyuki Shinobu, who is the chief director for Madoka, and also Kofuku Graffiti, Monogatari series, Bakemonogatari, Kizumonogatari, Nisekoi, Monogatari, Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. I didn't know there's so many Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei things. I know there is a sequel, but apparently there are also like plenty of OVAs. F. And some old anime. And Yukihiro Miyamoto, who I believe I did check out. Yeah, episode director on Ruby Hyosetsu Teikoku. Unit director on Bakemonogatari. Director on some other shows as well. Episode director on Nisekoi. Episode director on Madoka. Monogatari episode director. Monogatari, Zetsubo Sensei, Mariaholic. Shaft is very tightly knit, I noticed. If there is a show by Shaft, you can pretty much always be certain that the staff responsible for that show was also responsible for other Shaft shows, at least for something Monogatari, Bakemonogatari, Kizumonogatari, whatever, but Monogatari nonetheless. Okay, I think I've done my due diligence now. What can I say about this episode? More in depth. Besides the fact that I did enjoy it thoroughly, it is the episode where shit hits the fan, as we've noticed. Does it establish anything new? Is the question I wanted to ask. It certainly establishes Homura as very powerful and very powerful or very knowledgeable, at least. because Mami was very cocky all the time around Homura, like she could take her on no problem. And I'm wondering if that truly is the case. Is which of them is the stronger one, or is it just the case of Homura simply being more knowledgeable and perhaps more careful, right, doing her due diligence on finding information about the witch, on trying to figure out what the abilities might be or whatever. Or again, is it the case of world hopping, timeline hopping, timey-wimey shenanigans or whatever, and Homura has simply been through that, either in a separate timeline or in the past or whatever, and she knows how to fight all those monsters and when each monster will appear. That might be the case. Uh, it's This episode certainly also served as how should I call it? Not a wake up call, but kind of a re-establishment of the tone of the series. Because I mentioned before that even the first episodes didn't hide the fact that it's gonna be dark, but this episode really shows just how dark they're prepared to go, and it also establishes, at least I believe it does, some short or long term arc, but an arc nonetheless. Because I fully believe that Madoka will now attempt to bring Mami back or to save her in the past. And I'm assuming this is the arc we're gonna be entering, saving Mami arc, or maybe not. Maybe I'm speaking completely out of my ass, and Mami will genuinely never again appear. Would seem like a waste. I would hate it if Mami were never to appear again, because as I said, I love her fighting style and I want to see more of it. And she also seems like a fairly prominent character in all the promotional art that I've been finding. Besides the classic pairing of Homura and Madoka. It's always the trio of Madoka, Sayori, the blue-haired one, and Mami. It's always the three of them. So Mami dying permanently in episode 3, I'm finding it hard to believe. But again, at this point, I've come to expect really anything of Madoka, so anything can happen. This episode also vilifies Homura, kinda. It really portrays her as very cold and uncaring, right? She has not a sliver of. She gives not a sliver of fuck about the fact that Mami just died. Like, sure, they seem to have been enemies, but like, your fellow magical girl just died, and the person you're trying to protect is heavily affected by it, and you show nothing for it. You're a very matter of fact, this is a grief seed. Sure, she might have fought it, but you have no right to touch it. You're not magical girls. And I finished the witch off, so it technically is mine, so I'm gonna grab it. And you girls just stay there and cry if you want. I give no fucks. It really tries to vilify Homura here, and it works. It really does work to vilify her, because it made this episode made me rethink my opinions on both Mami and Homura. Mami all this time was coming off as very disingenuous, uh, or rather, not that she was coming off as that, but I was very wary of her because there were some moments that made me wary of everything, really, and wary of Mami among those things. But she seems to have been like genuinely happy that she might have found a group of friends, fellow Mahou Shoujo, fellow magical girls that she can share her woes and fight with, fight alongside of. So and it was genuine because those were her inner thoughts, and the whole theme, the whole like color palette and music and everything like that signified it all the more. It wasn't mommy just talking about how happy she is that she got friends. Meanwhile, everything is dark and a very foreboding music plays in the background. No, it was full on. It's a happy moment, both visually and audio wise, and in dialogue and in everything. And Homura, I still don't believe that she's a villain. I still don't think that. But this episode, this moment, really does help vilify her. It really does. I don't quite know how to describe my feelings when it comes to Homura right now. I think that's all I'm gonna say. Because I don't know what else to say. To be perfectly honest with you, she is very much an enigma still. I still cannot even hope to figure out what she's thinking, and I'm assuming that's going to be a running theme here. It's gonna be left for some big reveal around episode 11 or 12, where we learn what's the deal with Homura, what she wants to achieve, what actions she takes, and how she justifies them, and her whole story. Maybe we're gonna even see some flashbacks or whatnot. I'm assuming they are keeping that in store so that it's a very like important moment near the end of the series. Everybody comes clean, there's a final boss battle or something, and the season ends. That's my assumption. So I'm not like holding it against Homura that she's so secretive and whatnot, because she probably is secretive for a reason. Uh, what else? I think that's it. I think that's it. I don't want to keep spinning in circles because I'm very prone to that, to repeating my points over and over. So I'm just gonna leave it here. And now it's your time. You guys do let me know in the comments what did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories. No spoilers, please. Nothing even adjacent to spoilers. I think still what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna read the comments left during the initial release on Patreon, left by my patrons, because I know they care about not getting me spoiled. And I'm gonna leave comments left by people who watched on YouTube for some later date or something. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Comment moderation on YouTube isn't the greatest, so I can't exactly appoint anybody a moderator in a way that would matter. So I'm gonna have to handle that some way. The easiest way for me would be, of course, for you to not spoil things, but it's sometimes a little bit too much to ask. Okay, comments, leave them below. If you want to talk spoilers, you can do that on my Discord. Link is here, links is in the description. People are already having a whole like spoiler walls in that channel, in Madoka Magica channel, so why not join them? Discord supports spoiler tags, use them, talk spoilers. I'm not gonna see them, I'm gonna be safe, and you'll be able to talk about anything you want. Everybody wins in this scenario. Like this video if you liked it, disliked it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Madoka Magica but also Symphogear GX and future seasons, of course. Also Yofukashi no Uta, Overlord Season 4, Hataraku Mausama Season 2, Ruby, Ice Queendom, and Disco Elysium, the playthrough that I'm also doing. If you want to support the channel, you can do that in multiple ways, monetarily on Patreon or Throne. On Patreon for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonals like Madoka Magica, like Symphogear, like Disco Elysium. For just $1, you get a role on the Discord, and you also get a place in the credits that you're gonna see very shortly. On Throne, you can pitch in towards my purchases of some specific gear, like a new camera, new lighting, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, there is a way that is completely free, and that's called sharing. Because sharing is caring. Share my content, spread the word about my channel, because it really does matter. It really helps the channel grow, and YouTube likes it when the channel grows, because then it promotes that channel and it grows even further, and it's a snowball effect. And I would very much like my channel to turn into a snowball so that I can one day hang a YouTube play button somewhere on the wall. But that's neither here nor there. It's very, very long into the future. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So as always, you guys do the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be a part of them if only you so want. You don't have to sign a contract for that wish to be fulfilled.